My friends, come closer, for today we journey into the scorching sands and ancient tombs of Nehekara to speak of one name above all others, Settra the Imperishable, the first and greatest king of the land of the dead, ruler of Nehekara, builder of empires, conqueror of death, and bearer of so many titles that by the end of this video my tongue will be dry as desert bone. In this video, we'll explore some of Settra's greatest epithets. We'll uncover the deeds behind each one and follow his unstoppable rise from mortal ruler to immortal sovereign. And now, my friends, without any further ado, it is time for me to share 10 of my favorite of Settra's titles. Please enjoy. The Imperishable. Let's start with this one, the obvious one, the Imperishable. Settra refused death's dominion. He didn't just die and rise again. He conquered death. In life, Settra sought immortality through divine favor and the mortuary cult's rituals. In undeath, he achieved it, awakening as a tomb king whose will alone kept his body from crumbling to dust. When he declared that his reign would last for millions of years, he meant it. Death tried and failed. And to any foes foolish enough to doubt that, they soon learned what imperishable really meant. The hard way. High King of Nehekara, King of Kings. Long before undeath, Settra united the squabbling city-states of Nehekara, Khemri, Zandri, Numis, and Liberis, each ruled by petty kings and priests. He crushed them, bound them under his banner, and declared himself High King of Nehekara. Later, when he awoke from his tomb, every other tomb king, every once proud monarch of the desert, bowed before him. And that's when the title King of Kings was truly earned. Every crown beneath his feet, every ruler a footnote beneath his name. Builder of cities, builder of the Great Pyramid. Settra, you see, wasn't just a conqueror. He was a creator. Under his reign, Nehekara flourished. Grand temples were raised, cities expanded, and monuments were carved in his honor and to the gods. His greatest work, of course, was the Great Pyramid of Khemri, a burial monument so vast and magnificent that it put every other structure to shame. So, when you hear the title Builder of the Great Pyramid, it's not just about a tomb. It's about the legacy of a king who built civilization itself, stone by stone, grain by grain, and soul by soul. Mighty Lion of the Infinite Desert, Emperor of the Shifting Sands. These more poetic titles speak to the power of his domain, the vast deserts of Nehekara. Settra is the apex predator of the sands, the lion of the infinite desert. His armies themselves move like the dunes, vast, silent, and utterly unstoppable. And Emperor of the Shifting Sands, well, this one is perfect. It captures the eternal nature of his empire. It is shifting, it is endless, and yet it is always indelibly Settra's empire. No matter how the sands change, no matter what faces come and go, Settra endures. Opener of the way. And this one's rather more symbolic. Opener of the way, you see, refers to the path that Settra carved. Settra's path to unity, to dominance, and ultimately to immortality. By uniting Nehekara, he opened the way for his people to ascend. It can also be read spiritually, Settra opening the path to the afterlife itself. After all, he cheated death and returned not as a corpse, but as a king reborn in all his power and glory. The phrase also opener of the way, it isn't just pinned to one single official quote. but it appears across multiple fan and lore compilations, and I believe that it fits him perfectly. Wielder of the divine flame, Settra ruled with divine authority, or so he made sure that everyone believed. Settra rebuilt temples, he revived lost faiths, and made blood offerings to the gods to prove his worthiness. His rule was a blend of piety and tyranny, a sacred kingship written in fire and blood. The divine flame represents his fury, his power, and the godlike nature of his reign. Settra didn't just command armies. No, he commanded destiny itself. Tyrant to the foolish, scourge of the faithless. Every tyrant earns a few choice titles, and Settra was no exception. His arrogance and his cruelty are legendary. He declared that no one, not even his own sons, would inherit his crown unless they proved themselves worthy. In On Death, scourge of the faithless, tyrant to the foolish, these words gained new weight. Scourge of the faithless became a grim reality. Anyone who defied the mortuary cult or refused to bow was destroyed outright without mercy. Settra demanded faith, obedience, and eternal service, or eternal punishment. Guardian of the Charnel Pass, Vanquisher of Vermin. Not all of Settra's titles were born out of faith or ambition. Some came from battle, the might of his arm. During his undead reign, Settra defended Nehekara from invaders of all sorts, northern tribes, desert raiders, and tomb plunderers. One story that I particularly like tells of a campaign where he personally slew a northern champion and reclaimed his crown. These are titles of protection, the wrath of a king defending what is his. The message was clear. Disturb his realm, and you will not return. He who does not serve. This might be one of Settra's most famous titles, and also his truest title. Settra, you see, does not kneel. He rules. He serves no god, no mortal, not even death itself. When Nagash came and demanded fealty, Settra spat defiance. When chaos came, he stood unbowed. His words are immortal. I do not serve. That line alone defines the man. It's not about pride for Settra. It's identity, the pure essence of sovereignty. Eternal sovereign of Khemri's legions, and finally become to that title, the eternal sovereign. His legions are undead, his reign unending. He does not age, does not fade, and his armies will march long after the living have turned to dust. In short, mortals rise, mortals die and are forgotten, but Settra's legions endure, march, and conquer forever. The weight of immortality. You see, Settra's titles aren't just words carved into stone or shouted by heralds in gilded chariots. They're echoes of deeds that changed the world. Every title tells a story of conquest, pride, and defiance against gods and time itself. When Settra united Nehekara, he didn't just build an empire. He defined civilization itself. While the rest of the world was squabbling in mud and ignorance, Nehekara alone gleamed like a golden crown upon the desert. Its rivers tamed, its peoples disciplined, its rulers ambitious. And at the heart of it all stood only one man, whose iron will bound it all together. The Imperishable. That wasn't prophecy, that was Settra's entire goal. Every monument, every temple, every corpse laid to rest in his name was a declaration, I will not fade. And when Nagash's black magic turned kings to corpses, Settra didn't rise as a slave. He awoke as himself, proud, furious, and unbroken. While other kings bowed to necromancy, Settra stood and declared I do not serve. No living or dead being ever commanded him. Not gods, not mortals, and certainly not Nagash himself. When Nagash rose again, Settra marched to war. When chaos came, he was ready. The sands shifted, the ages passed, and still Settra endures. Those titles, King of Kings, He Who Does Not Serve, Builder of the Great Pyramid, became his armor. Forged in mortal glory, hardened in undeath, and polished by millennia of unflinching defiance. Perhaps, however, his greatest legacy lies in irony. The unification he achieved gave birth to the mortuary cult, and through it, Nagash himself. In striving for immortality, Settra indirectly unleashed the greatest necromancer in history. And yet, even that didn't end his legend. Rather, it completed it. For every horror Nagash unleashed, Settra was there to defy it. Every empire that has risen and fell since, Bretonnia, the Empire, even chaos, still walks in the shadow of Settra's dream. One will, one ruler, eternal. So, when you hear those endless titles recited by the heralds of Khemri, remember they are not vanity. They're history, they are proof. They are the names of a man who bent civilization to his will, who defied death, who defied the very gods, and carved his name into the bones of the world. Settra does not serve. Settra rules. And long after men and elves have turned to dust, when even the stars themselves fade to ash, there will still be one voice echoing across the dunes of eternity. Settra the Imperishable. This is even reflected in the end times. When the world itself began to die, Settra did not hide in his tomb. He rose again to lead the armies of the dead against chaos. He even allied, albeit briefly, with the vampire counts and other undead kings to preserve the world. For though he despised them, he despised the notion of servitude even more. But when Nagash returned, reborn as a god of undeath, he demanded Settra's allegiance once more. And once more, Settra refused. In fury, Nagash struck him down, tearing his body apart and scattering his ashes across the vastness of chaos. And still, Settra's voice thundered across the ether. Settra does not serve. Nagash could destroy his body, but he could never destroy his will. And here's the part that most forget. After the end times, in 8th edition, in the new age of Sigmar, Settra's spirit still does endure. The Mortarchs whisper that his soul still roams the sands of the afterworlds, perhaps scattered, but ever waiting, plotting, refusing to kneel even to Nagash's divine rule. Some say this is Nagash's only fear, that one day Settra will return, and not as a servant of undeath, but as a rival god. Because Settra does not serve. Settra rules. So there you have it, folks. Settra, the imperishable High King, Lion of the Desert, Opener of the Way, He Who Does Not Serve, and a literal 100 more. Unification, conquest, defiance, creation, punishment, and protection. It was a lot of fun doing the research for this, and I hope you enjoyed the video very much. I am planning to do a whole series more of these Warhammer 3 lore videos. The deeper I get into Warhammer 3 lore, and indeed Warhammer lore in general, be it for 40k, for Age of Sigmar, what have you, I just find myself so enthralled. This world is almost the ideal one to really dig into if you want to have rewarding, fulfilling lore. As always, friends, leave your comments in the videos below. Any questions you may have, I would love to answer on my live streams, and I will see you again, I hope, in the very near future. Please also do check out some of the links in the description. I have included some videos I think you might find very rewarding to watch. As always, friends, the Emperor protects, and I'll see you in the next video. Ave Imperator.